In a surprising but determined move, the African National Congress, ANC, has confirmed that President Cyril Ramaphosa has taken the lead in lobbying the United States government over the controversial 30% tariff imposed on South African steel and aluminum exports. According to senior ANC insiders, the president personally made South Africa's case in a series of high-level diplomatic engagements, warning that the punitive tariffs could undermine not only bilateral trade but also long-standing political and economic cooperation between the two nations. This revelation comes amid growing concern within the South African business community and political circles about the impact of the tariffs, which were reinstated by the US earlier this year as part of a broader review of global trade relations under the America First policy revival. South African exporters, already facing the headwinds of a slowing global economy and domestic power crisis, now face an uphill battle in accessing one of their most lucrative markets. Speaking at a press briefing on Saturday, ANC national spokesperson Malenji Bengumatsuri told journalists that Ramaphosa acted swiftly and decisively the moment it became clear that South African producers would be affected. President Ramaphosa has made a strong, compelling case to the United States, Bengumatsuri said. He has emphasized that South Africa is a strategic partner, not an adversary. These tariffs are hurting jobs and economic growth on both sides. We are hopeful the US will reconsider. According to sources close to the presidency, Ramaphosa communicated directly with senior US officials, including through letters and virtual discussions with trade representatives and members of the US Congress. The president reportedly outlined how the tariffs were undermining South Africa's efforts to rebuild its industrial base, promote job creation, and strengthen its manufacturing sector, all of which are essential pillars of the post-COVID recovery. What has made the matter even more urgent, ANC officials say, is the broader geopolitical context. South Africa has found itself under increasing scrutiny for its ties to BRICS allies, particularly Russia and China. Some US lawmakers have cited these affiliations as justification for the tariffs, arguing that South Africa should not enjoy preferential treatment while it engages with countries seen as strategic rivals to the US. But the ANC is pushing back firmly on that narrative. Bengumatsuri stated that South Africa's foreign policy remains non-aligned and independent, and that punitive trade measures should not be used as leverage to dictate international alliances. South Africa will not be bullied, she declared. Our position in BRICS does not negate our commitment to healthy, respectful, and mutually beneficial relations with the United States. We are not in the business of choosing sides, we are in the business of defending our national interest. Trade analysts have warned that if the tariffs are not lifted soon, the consequences could be far-reaching. The domestic steel industry, already under strain from competition and logistical bottlenecks, could face layoffs and plant closures. Export volumes have already begun to decline, and several companies have reported delays or cancellations of US-bound shipments. In response to the crisis, the ANC is calling for a coordinated effort that includes the Department of Trade, Industry and Competition, the private sector, and international partners. ANC Economic Policy Head Mameloko Kubei confirmed that a task force is being formed to draft a formal counterproposal, including possible trade-offs or exemptions for certain sectors. This is not just about metal. This is about sovereignty. It's about fairness. And it's about protecting the South African worker, Kubei said. In Washington, the South African embassy is also ramping up its efforts, engaging lobbyists and mobilizing support among pro-Africa voices in Congress. Ambassador Nomendiam Fekito has reportedly been meeting with key stakeholders to highlight the importance of the U.S. South Africa trade relationship and the mutual benefits of cooperation. Back home, the ANC has been careful to frame the issue as non-partisan, emphasizing that Ramaphosa's intervention is not just a diplomatic necessity, but a moral one. The president is not acting as the head of a political party, Bengumatsuri reiterated. He is acting as the leader of a nation whose future depends on fair treatment in the global economic arena. As the situation unfolds, all eyes are on the United States Trade Representative's office, where a review of the tariff policy is said to be underway. While no final decision has been made, the ANC remains cautiously optimistic that Ramaphosa's case will resonate in the halls of Washington.